How old are you?
I'm 30.
Oh my
Girl.
You turn 30 in August. I actually already know when you turn 30. It was in August. I'm like, when did you turn 30? Like in August?
You're like,
August 4th.
You're like, wait. You're like, here's a guess. Was it August 4th? When's your birthday?
December.
So
December
you're
14th.
Sag.
Yes, and I just turned 31. And like that
So we're the
one.
same.
But like, yes, 100%. That one though is like, ooh, like.
Well, yeah, tell me about the one. Because I was thinking, I actually swear to God, I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, it's so interesting because we talk about 30 so much, but we don't talk about 31.
No one talks about 31.
No one.
She's the least popular girl in the group.
I personally think 30, 31, 32, maybe 33, I would argue the same.
Totally. Can I give you a little like synesthesia?
Please.
You know, like 31 is like saying fiance.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like it's like there isn't another word because like I am 31, but like it makes me sound like I'm trying to prove something. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm trying like, no, I'm not 30, I'm 31. Like I should just say 30.
Just say,
you know, it'd be easier for everyone.
Just be 30. We should just all be 30 for like a really long time.
Until we're like 34.
Until we're 34. That's when it gets different. Is 34 is a different era.
Yeah, it's like 30 like it's 31. Yeah. Like it's like a big drop.
I completely agree. I completely agree.
Are you going to dinner tonight?
I am going to just be with my roommate and probably like order food. So
but
like
you have a big fucking week.
That's
so
the thing. I feel like I look at my week as like a Friday night is just like the extension of the week and the next week. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like now, especially like with my work, it has to do with being out in the world so much. Yeah. So if I'm really out in the world during the week, I'm going to try to like really be a homebody on the weekend. I feel like in the summer, it's obviously different. I'm like itching to like do things every night, I would say. Yeah. Even if it's just like a little dinner moment, which let's be honest, that's all I ever do or want to do.
Me too.
Right?
What else is there to do? Oh, I guess like a concert or something? I don't know.
Well, you know what is a big thing I'm like could never really have been into unless it's like you're going with a big group of friends, like that's fun. But the idea of like being with your one or two girlfriends and like you just go to a bar to like get a drink. I'm not into that.
Especially in the city. Like in New York, I can think of about 4,000 places that are better to do that than a bar. You know?
Right. It's like also, I want to drink with dinner. I want to like have a little dinner drink moment. But the idea of then like going to a bar to just like drink more, unless it's like the most amazing cocktail situation. Yeah. I'm only like going to a bar if it has to do with like, oh, it's a birthday party meetup. It's an engagement meetup, right? But to just go arbitrarily, I'm like so not into that, right?
I'm such a lazy, no, 100%, please, 100%. I, like when I think of a bar, I think of I'm standing. I'm standing while drinking. I don't want to be standing while I'm eating or drinking. Like,
right, it's not standing. Comfy. I want to be like this outfit I'm in right now. Like we're comfy girls. Like I want to be comfy, cozy, wozy.
You're gonna get me at my best if I'm in cotton and sitting down.
That's the thing. I'm gonna be really up here. I'm gonna be on it. I'm gonna be churning
I'm fighting for my life when I'm standing.
All I'm thinking about is sitting.
Yeah, me too. Me too. But now that you have popped off, because you have officially popped off sure. I mean, I think it's been a long time that you've been popped off.
Thank you.
But that would make me want to leave the house less because I'd be like, I have to like really look like who I am online.
Totally.
Or who they think I am.
If I'm looking kind of like exactly like what you're saying, like not how I look online vibe, I'm in a hat and glasses. Like I'm gonna be like, no one look at me, guys. Like I'll be better another time, I promise.
Yeah.
It definitely does create a little bit more of that just extra step of thinking. And also I'm already like, I have a problem. Like my family will be like, are you okay? Like I can stay indoors for an inhuman amount of time.
So I almost edited this out of last episode because I was like so ashamed. I broke my record the other day for staying, other than like COVID. I mean, like, which like, by the way, I thrived in, like, other than like people having unfortunate situations. It's frowned upon to like have loved COVID. So I try to keep that hush-hush.
A lot of people say that, to be honest, a lot.
For an introvert, like that cosplays as an extrovert, it was wonderful for me. But I didn't leave the house the other day for 9 days straight. And I was fostering a puppy and I just like kind of blamed it on like the puppy needed to like be home all the time and like potty trained and the whole thing. 9 days, babe.
Well, here's a follow-up question. You live in LA.
Yeah.
So do you have like a backyard?
Yes.
Okay. If that were me, I could do a month. If you have a little space out and you go with your puppy and you went
Yeah,
on a little
yeah.
walk,
Oh yeah, no, I go on walks and
girl,
like that counts as staying home. But like I
that
don't what
counts
do you
as
do in
staying
the front
home.
yard and the
No,
backyard?
well, point being, like, I'm in an apartment,
So you don't see
right?
sunlight when you don't leave.
So, like, I had neurovirus, which because like I was like patient
Ooh.
0 or something like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I didn't even like leave my apartment unit for probably like 7 days.
I love
But
that.
like that's different because it was sick. But I'm just letting you know, I think that that's literally the most acceptable thing I've ever heard.
But being sick at home is so different than choosing to be home. You know, it's like
True, but
terrible.
no one can say you didn't get fresh air. You
Right.
got fresh
True.
air. The
True.
only thing that would be kind of like concerning is like the cabin fever of like, did you get fresh air? But like when I go home to my sister's house in Connecticut, like
Yeah.
she'll be like, want to go to like the post office? And I'm like, no. She's like, want to get Jersey Mike's? I'm like, yeah, but can you get it for me and bring it back here?
In
Do you know what I
fairness, both those
mean?
activities sound extremely unfortunate. Like I
Oh,
like
I'm like so into Jersey Mike's. I'm like so into it.
I
I'm
had an
sure it's
ex-boyfriend that was like his whole brand was being Jersey Mike. So
oh, it's
I
people's
get a
brand.
rash. Yeah.
It's people's brand. I didn't really know about it and like the whole vibe until like a year ago. My brother-in-law was like, I'm gonna show you something. And then things were different after that.
But I respect the Jersey Mike's. I don't want to go there. I don't need to go.
Oh no, I don't want to go there. I want it to come to me.
Totally. No, that's the
I want it
best.
to come to me.
But can I tell you that I was watching your content and like, you know, doing all my research and everything and like, you know, whatever, finding out your blood type, the whole thing. And I was like,
Love August 4th.
yeah,
Yeah,
August 4th,
yeah.
never forget.
Obsessed.
I will remember your birthday for the rest of my life. I went to the same school from kindergarten through 12th grade, and there are random dates in the calendar that I know people's birthday that I have not spoken to since the 5th grade.
Me too.
It's insane.
There's this one girl, Maya. Hey, Maya, shout out. Like we know each other since we were little, and we don't really like haven't like crossed paths in our lives since like for so
Yeah.
long. But we grew up together, and without fail, we always remember each other's birthday and text each other. And every time I see that date, I'm like, it's Maya's birthday.
Oh no, so these people
100%.
are like not even textable for me. Like
That's
not even DMable.
I
They're
keep
like
being
that
like, yeah, girl,
forgotten.
me too. And you're like, no, but mine is like in a weirder way.
I'm so fucking competitive.
You're like, no, 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 no. But you're like, I'm gonna be honest, like the way you just said it was normal, the way I'm trying to tell you is not normal. But
I'm just trying to tell you that it's dark.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna always be the one to let you know I think it's what you're saying is okay.
Okay, I
Because I
appreciate that.
do. Because I
But
do.
the younger sister thing really resonates with me because I feel like it explains
Mm,
so much of who you and I are.
yes.
What's
Okay,
the age difference?
I think so too. I think that the sister thing is so formative. And to your point, like whether you're older or younger, my
Apples and
sister,
oranges.
see, this is another thing too. Did my sister turn 32 or 33? I guess she turned 33.
As we discussed, it's all 30.
But again, I've never felt more the same age as her, to our point.
Mm-hmm.
But as you know too, when you're like in 7th grade, and that's the difference, like 7th to like whatever she was, like 9 or 10th grade,
Uh-huh.
probably 10th grade, that is like, oh, so you're a senior citizen and I'm an infant.
No, you
But
have
yes, the
breast
sister
buds.
thing
I
is
don't.
so real. What is your sister situation? So you have an older sister?
Yeah, I have one older sister. She's 4 years older than me. And so, like you
Same
said,
vibe.
like 7 to 11 was like, what? We don't even like,
Different planets.
yes. Now, bitch calls me 15 times a day. I'm like, not like now she like is barking
Wait,
up my tree. And I'm like, where were you?
no, that's actually so funny and true that I think that's a specific older, younger sister thing where when you're little, first you're
Mm-hmm.
little, like before high school, and they have their friends over and you want to hang out with them and they're like, get out of my face. And you're like, please,
Mm-hmm.
can I play in the game? I'll be quiet and you can just
Yeah.
dress me up as like the dog while you guys get to
Yes.
be the Barbie dolls or whatever.
Yes.
Right? Like first it's that, and they're like, ugh.
Yes.
And then your mom is like, you have to hang out with her. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's that. But
Yep.
then high school it starts to be a little more like, okay. But then
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's like after college or something,
Absolutely.
all of a sudden tables turn and they're freaking obsessed with you. And
They
you're
are
like,
so obsessed
girl,
with you.
you're obsessed.
You're like,
You're
get off my jock.
obsessed.
I know.
Literally.
It's
I
crazy.
so agree. I so agree.
And you're like, remember when? You know?
Yes. Like, if
100%.
I could tell myself then how obsessed you would be with me.
That I'd have 15 missed calls at 11 a.m. on any given day. Yeah.
It's so true. I also have a 17-year-old half sister, like on my dad's side,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of same vibe where I feel like I'm obsessed with her. Like I'm always like Jaden, but I'm like I'm waiting till the day she's a little bit more like, wait, I actually am kind of over my friends. Like, can I hang out with the girls? Like, can I hang out with the
Uh-huh.
sissies? And she'll get there. I can feel her getting there. I can feel
I have
it.
a 21-year-old stepsister. And
Okay,
I
we're
just
so
feel like
similar.
I know, like, hello, oh my God. But I feel like she looks at me like the grumpy old troll who lived under the bridge. Like just like old haggard, like I don't know shit. I gave her this was so humiliating. I gave her a naked palette, like those
I was thinking about the naked palette the other
we
day.
coveted. Like that was like the greatest thing.
It was like people would have their naked palette for 3 years.
Oh yeah, that shit was disgusting, and it had multiple germs, like a lot of DNA was in there. Was in there.
Disgusting.
I gave it to her thinking like, oh, I'm gonna like turn you on to a new thing, whatever. She's like, oh, I had one of these when I was 13. I was like, ah.
I would jump off of a building. You're like, wait, no, I thought this was going to be really cool for you. And she's like,
I
that's
was like,
from
I spent
Target.
$36 on this.
She's like, that's like beginner makeup. That is
Literally.
so funny. That's like, oh my God. I was like in quarantine with my sister and I was like showing her like Bring It On. Like I was showing her all these things. And after every scene, I'd be like, that was an iconic scene. Like, and like you're just trying so hard
I
to
know.
be
No,
like,
it's
see
pathetic.
things from my perspective. But it's like, but then I think about how then my nephew is 4. And I'm like, my little sister is going to feel with him, like how I feel like, you know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and that's the thing about age. It just keeps going.
It just-
It just keeps going and
Ain't that the
going.
damn truth? But at least,
It
like, you're
really
huge on
does.
TikTok. You're like, you can be like, bitch, you can think I'm all uncool as you want, but like, I'm huge on the platform that you love?
Totally. I definitely get to be a little bit more like, I think I can embrace the millennial cringe because I
Yeah.
know that I have like, there's a little bit of like, oh, but I'm allowed to be.
Yeah, you straddle the line more.
You know what I mean? And yeah, no, I think that's so true. These are all such important insights.
Truly.
I really believe that.
Which leads me to why we're actually here, which
Oh,
is, I mean, other than like the fact that we could talk about all this bullshit all the time,
totally.
that friend. Let's talk about that friend, which is your audiobook, which is unfucking believable. You're
Oh
just
my God.
so good at like just portraying the female existence, like female millennial who like cosplays as a Gen Z, but like just like those female relationships, like you
Hmm.
just are so good at it. It's unbelievable.
Thank you so much. That means so much to me. I really appreciate it.
It's
Like a
amazing.
lot. Thank
So it
you.
comes out January 28th. I'm like, are we still
28th.
in fucking January?
I
Yes, we
know.
are.
Longest January ever.
Ever. First of all, I felt hashtag triggered. Do people still say hashtag?
I
That's so
do.
millennial
And
of
I
me.
say hashtag triggered. So we can keep saying
Because it is about a girl who starts
it.
a
It's for
podcast and
you.
no, it's fucking
Wait, it's
horrific.
you.
But I literally was like, fuck. I read some interview that you did, and you were like, so many of these things, obviously, they're so relatable, they have to come from real life, obviously. Like they have to be like either your
Mhm.
experiences or your friends' experiences. And like you said, you have like too many friends, so there's like a lot to choose from. So
Mhm.
I did that heavily in my first fucking 3 years on this podcast. Like I was like taking all my experiences because, that's like where all your material comes from. But do
Totally.
you have anyone or have you had anyone in your life that like, because sometimes people will see themselves in your work when you didn't even, it's like, babe, that didn't come from you. Like, sorry, like, don't,
Mhm.
you're so vain, you probably think the song is about you. Like, it's not. But that happened to me all the time. Like, one time I was like, oh, I don't like my friend's boyfriend. And my best friend, who like, she's so sacred to me, I just was like, it's not about you. Like, I swear it's not about you. Do you have friends that are like, how dare you use my real life experience?
I've definitely had moments where a friend like they definitely like my friends like they look and they're like, is it like they go like
I
that?
know.
But I for the most part, anytime I've done something where it's like, oh, I'm taking my friend's perspective of a story, I'm taking like anything direct where I'm conscious of it, they're either like with me
Right.
or like I had this one friend where like it was like pretty sensitive and like we were literally like, okay, I'm gonna use this, but like gotta wait. And then a few months went by, and one time I texted her, I was like, can I do it now? And she was like, you're cleared. You're cleared.
Oh, so you ask permission.
Especially if it's gonna be like really direct. And I've
Yeah.
had that sometimes. But I have also had times where I may be with like a best friend, like a closer friend, and then maybe I'm kind of like dishing a bit, venting a bit about like someone else, right? And I'm
Mm-hmm.
kind of like, well, they always kind of do this thing. And like, I don't know, that kind of bothers me, like this thing. And then like within a few days, I'm making a TikTok that isn't necessarily that thing, but certainly can be connected.
Inspired.
It's
Yeah.
inspired. It was obviously in some way in my subconscious, like I wasn't thinking that, but like, and then they'll text me and go, you're being kind of obvious, like meaning the friend I vented to. And I'm like,
Oh.
oh shit. But then I'm also like, you know what? If I didn't purposely do it, I'm innocent.
I think that too. So like when my friend called me and was like, "Oh, you were talking about me," I was like, "Oh my god,
I
I
don't
swear to
think
God, I was." But
so.
I think actually professing your innocence when you're actually innocent is actually harder than professing your innocence when you're actually not, when you're guilty. You
Totally.
know, like you're like, I
Totally.
sound like I'm lying. How do I like show you I'm telling the truth? Like there's no way to prove it.
Well, the only way you can really do it is like, I don't think I did that, because you can't, who really knows? Like, what, does the
Right.
friend know every single thing they do and why they do it? Like, come
Right.
on. What are we all? We're our own psychologists? No, we always do things we don't realize we're doing. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
No, a
So, yeah.
100%. So
We
like
didn't do
maybe
anything wrong.
no,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
but even like I'll say, your opinions are your content and the best opinions are specific and whatever. And so like
Totally.
even like I'll be like, "Oh, I hate getting my nails done," which is absolutely true. I fucking hate it more than anything in the whole
Mm,
world. I like actually
it's
like
a
maybe judge people
chore.
that like it. I
It's a
hate it.
chore. I love having them done. So I will
Me
always do.
too. Very
But
different.
my friend and I we talk about this a lot. We say, I hate when men are like, oh, you go get your nails done. It's like, I'm sorry, getting your nails done is like going to the grocery store. It's not
Oh,
fun. It's a
yeah.
chore. So don't act like this was some fun thing for me. It's something I had to do.
No, my hands were shackled to a table. I couldn't even use them. And like
Literally.
the
You're a
manicurist doesn't even want
prisoner.
to yap with me. Like she's just like hates me.
Yes. But
Yeah, it's
anyways, I
awful.
agree. I agree.
Okay, so I hate getting my nails done. And I was like, I hate getting my nails done. And sometimes I have this woman come over who's wonderful and I adore her as a person. I hate the activity that we, do when she comes
Yes.
over. But I'm like, oh my God, she's going to listen to my podcast because she comes over and does my nails. And I'm like, she's going to listen to my podcast and think I fucking hate when she does my nails. It's
No.
like
If anything,
that kind of
she's
thing.
doing, well, she's doing you a huge solid, because you don't have to go into the nail salon. You're like, I
150%.
have you come here because I hate getting my nails done.
Yes. And I'm like,
I
well,
get you.
also this content is not for the people whose birthdays I remembered from elementary school or like my
Totally.
friends. This is for like other people. Like this shouldn't exist in real life.
Totally. Right. I mean, like that's the thing. Even like you're saying in a podcast, like what you do where you're being honest and genuine, there's still a performative element to it that you're
Yes.
putting it out there to be consumed by the
It's more
listener.
extreme. It's more extreme.
Right.
I'm more like I hate that fucking sucks. This, it's more that.
Totally.
Yeah.
No, again, I stand by you.
Thank you
And like,
so
you're
much. This
right.
is so
You're
validating.
right.
But like yours, like when you're like, okay, the friend that's distancing themselves, like that
Yeah.
one, I was like, oh my God. I mean, we've all been either in one position or the other, maybe
That
both.
was a pretty real one. And that one
Yeah.
also, I've gotten some feedback on it being like really sad.
Mm-hmm.
And I
It
was
is
like,
sad.
I guess it's because it was real. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yes.
So you've been in that situation. Were you the distancer or the distancee?
Distancy. That was one of the
Mm-hmm.
ones where, like, again, once in a while I do something where I'm like, this is so directly ripped from like a book of my life,
Yeah.
and like almost where it feels like kind of weird to do, like, and that was one of
Yeah.
them. That was one of them.
Because it's so weird because like you exist as a real person and like this internet sensation at the same time. So like making content for both of those groups, like of people that know you in real life and
Totally.
people that don't is very hard.
And I think too, oftentimes writers, like if you're writing a scene in a play or in a television show, a lot of times it's drawn from real life. I mean, this is so random, but I think about, like, I was on Abbott and Ava
Yeah.
Coleman is like the name of the character, but that's one of the writers' names. And I was like, oh my God, her name is this. But like, I feel like that kind of information is not so in your face when
Yeah.
you're a writer who's more so like behind closed doors.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're like me and it's like, here's my face, here's my writing, and I'm putting it
Mm-hmm.
all together, there's a little bit more of that intrigue about like what's real and what's not. Also, like Taylor has really changed the era of that. Like it's like Taylor has created the decoding thing.
May we all be as brave. You know what I mean? Like it really
totally.
Like we're gonna write a song about you. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, she was like Corey's eyes. Like she was like, I'm getting into it.
What is Corey's eyes? Or like the jungle?
Like the jungle. They Corey's
shine
eyes
just like the radio?
They shine just like the radio, which doesn't really make sense.
But like maybe that's what we need to do. Like make it so confusing is that a compliment?
Let's talk about that. That they shine just like someone's gonna be like up in the comment section of this being like, actually, if you look at lyrics.com, what she's saying is but yeah.
Am I like fucking losing my mind? Is it not the jungle?
No, I think it's Corey's eyes are like the jungle. He smiles, it's like the radio. Yeah, he whispers something in my ear.
Songs into my window.
I think it's jungle radio. I think it's jungle radio. And I'm going.
She speaks in riddles, baby.
That's where she never look up the lyrics so that I can never know if I was wrong. That's
jungle radio.
Jungle radio.